my name's Abbey and welcome to my channel. Today is an exciting day because it is my first ever YouTube booktube video. So I thought it was only fitting that I do the booktube newbie tag. And if you can't already tell from my accent, I'm from Australia and I'm really excited for you guys to get to know me a little bit. And I've got some exciting videos coming your way with some awesome content. Stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get into our questions. So I have them here on my monitor. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm reading the questions. I haven't really looked at them. I'm going in a bit blind, but we will see how we go. Question number 1. Why did you start this channel? Well, my answer is going to be a pretty generic one. I love reading, love books, but I don't necessarily have the people in my life to gush and talk about them with. I have a few readers in the family, but they either don't read the same books that I do, or they don't read as much or as interested as I am in reading. So I'm looking for my community, my people. Booktube is an amazing space with amazing people that, you know, are just so warm and welcoming. So I just wanted to create this channel and create a safe place and, you know, a great community of people, of like-minded people who can share. I can share my book recommendations, my thoughts, my feelings, get some great book recommendations from, and, you know, just have a really great time. Honestly, I'm just here to have a good time and to meet some like-minded people in this great community. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I think for one, I have not seen many Australian booktubers out there on YouTube. I don't know whether I just haven't seen them or there's not that many of us, but I, you know, would love to get to know other YouTubers. And if you are Australian YouTuber, booktuber, or if you know of one, please let me know down in the comments because I would love to follow them and support fellow Australian creators. I see a lot of, you know, British and American creators, but not really much representation from Australia. So I'm hoping to change that a little bit. So yeah, so I can bring myself and be just really honest with my thoughts and my feelings. There's a lot of booktubers out there that will talk about really popular books and it becomes a big thing, like a big phenomena. And there's some really great books out there that deserve the hype, that's for sure. But there are some books that I've read or that I want to read that aren't really on anyone else's radar. They haven't blown up on the booktube community. So there's a few amazing books that I want to share with you that you might not know about. So stay tuned for those. Question number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Well, I'm just excited to put myself out there and start finding my like-minded people. I'm excited just to start. It's been a long time coming. It's very scary, but you know, putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable to the world is a pretty big thing. Also, I haven't really spoken to a camera ever before, so it's extremely awkward, and I'm hoping it doesn't come across that way, but it's a different experience, that's for sure. But I am really excited to get myself out there, start making some awesome content and meeting all of you. I want to get deeper into the booktube community. I want to join the booktube community and, you know, meet my tribe, meet my people, and, you know, just make some great friends along the way and just have some fun. Question number 4. Why do you love reading? Well, like a lot of people, this is a generic answer. I love reading for the pure escapism of it. I'm a fiction fantasy reader, so I will read, you know, about epic quests and, you know, things to forget about normal life and just have a really good time. I am also a mood reader, so I will pick up sort of any kind of genre within the fiction space. Usually I'm not going to tend to gravitate towards a non-fiction book. I mean, there are some biographies or memoirs or things like that that I might read from time to time, but honestly, the pure love of reading for me is just diving into a fantasy world and meeting some amazing characters that are good, great plots, great adventure. That's why I love reading. It's pure escapism. Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? Like most people who love to read, they probably started reading at a young age, which was the case for me. I started reading, I can't remember when I really fell in love with reading, but I think as soon as I started reading, I just never stopped. So my mother was an English teacher and she loved reading. She was into crime, thriller novels, which is, you know, not always my jam, but she loved reading and my elder sister loved reading as well. So it was just part of our life. In our home, we would, you know, I was a sibling of 4, and, you know, the only time you got to have your own time and your own space is when, you know, you could lock yourself in your room and read a book, which was, you know, pretty awesome. The first series I can remember really reading was The Famous Five by Enid Blyton. And then, you know, as I got older, it was like, you know, the Goosebumps books was all the rage, and I still read them now. And I think then when I was about 7, the Harry Potter phenomena happened, and, you know, I was a bit late to the party, I think, for the Harry Potter books, but I remember it was probably by the 4th book I was caught up. So then every time a book came out, I was the front of the line at Dimmick's at the bookshop before it opened, ready to rush in there and grab my copy on release day. So if you can imagine, it was just mental. What a time to be alive. It was like a Black Friday sale with all these kids just like, you know, trampling each other to get in first to get this book. But yeah, it's great fond memories of that. You know, it was just a very exciting time. So, you know, Harry Potter really got me into, you know, reading big books, I think, as a child. And then school and university, you get really busy, you end up reading, you know, and studying, and, you know, all your free time is taken up with studying, so you don't really feel like reading for pleasure. So that's what happened to me. So there's probably quite a few years that I didn't really read anymore, or may have read maybe 1 or 2 books here and there. Like a lot of people, I found the ACOTAR series and then the Throne of Glass series and Crescent City from Sarah J Maas. So those books were, you know, pretty groundbreaking, and, you know, really sparked my fire for reading again. And then after that, I found the Dresden Files, and I will never not love this series. The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher is an awesome series, and I had read the first book and then I was hooked. And if you're like me and you will do an immersive read, sometimes I'll read a physical book and listen to the audiobook, this is the perfect series for you. Even if you just listen to audiobooks, run, don't walk, and listen to them. They're narrated by James Masters, who's the actor who plays Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You're welcome. Thank me later. It is a phenomenal series, and who doesn't love like a funny, witty, grouchy wizard who's also a detective fighting crime and, you know, saving the world from supernatural disaster. It's chef's kiss. I love it. There's so many books and you can really lose yourself in them. So I will definitely do a video on my channel a little bit later about those books in that series, because it is one of my absolute favorites. I have a few. So after reading the Dresden Files, I just never stopped. Just kept reading, kept collecting, and I'm so glad I did, because it's, you know, a passion that I've been refueled with, and that was many years ago now. So I've just continued to stay strong, and obviously my collection is growing, and TBR is never ending. It's daunting, but we know we are never ever going to get to the end of our TBR. There's always going to be something new. There's always going to be something that we need to read. There's too many books in the world, not enough time. I know, exhausting, but we do it because we love it. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? Oh, I have so many questions. Well, my first question would be, knowing what you know now, after, you know, so long of doing this, being a booktuber, what would you change? What would you do differently? I feel that there's a lot of trial and error. Everybody's video, the first video is not that great, and then every video after that you improve and you learn some great things along the way, and, you know, you continue to get better and better. So yeah, what would you do differently now? What would you tell yourself as you're starting out on booktube? And also, where do you get the time? Like, you guys must have some serious time management skills, because, you know, to record a video, then to edit and upload, as well as having a family, having a life, a job, it's a lot. And, you know, I know that for most people on booktube, it's not their main source of income. I mean, not everybody can quit their day job. So, you know, working full time, having a family, and also reading and then producing some videos, it's a lot. So, you know, what's your tips and tricks? How do you do it? How do you stay focused? How do you stay on schedule? Because you guys are amazing. I follow some amazing booktubers on YouTube, and I could not live without them, to be honest. Like, all their efforts are rewarded by me loving them more than anything in the world. So please continue to do what you're doing. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think the hardest thing to overcome will be this first video, and then the next video, and then the next video after that. They say the first video is always the hardest. It's, you know, there's always room for improvement. I am excited to get some feedback on my video, get some comments, learn as I go, and each video will get better and better. Like I said, I've never really talked to a camera before, so it's really daunting and it's really tricky. It's really hard. As I go, it'll get easier and easier, and I'm excited to take you guys along in the journey. Question number 8. When did you start reading? Well, I guess I answered this question as well before. I started reading at a really young age, as young as I can remember, and then, you know, I've always just loved it. It's just something that, you know, a world I can escape into if I'm reading a good fantasy book. So I started young, and then, like most people, work or uni or life gets in the way and you sort of drop off reading for a little while. So that happened to me, but I'm super excited to be back, and I've been back reading for a few years now, so it's never going away. It's never stopping. It's part of my life. It's who I am. Question number 9. Where do you read? So, I mean, I will read anywhere. The main suspects are in the bed at night, or on the couch, or in my reading chair. And I do love an immersive read as well. So when I'm at home and I'm reading a book either on my Kindle or the physical, I will sometimes listen to the audiobook as well while I'm reading along. So I find that's a really good way to really dive deep into a book. And if it's a really good audiobook narrator, it's just going to be life-changing, especially in some of those really hard fantasy books with, you know, crazy names of places or people. I'll probably read half the book and then get the audiobook and be like, oh my gosh, I was pronouncing this name wrong the entire time. So I like the audiobooks for that as well. Get onto your libraries and, you know, download the free apps, because there's a lot of ebooks and audiobooks on there that are just completely free, and you can borrow them as you will. So it's a great way to read more and, you know, utilizing your free libraries. So don't go out and spend too much money on things. You don't need to spend a lot of money to read a lot of books. So that would be my tip. Question number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I love reading fantasy, and that's my, you know, that's my main genre. I will read a lot of other fiction as well though. So I'm a mood reader. I'll read sort of a little bit of everything. That's not so great for my TBR when things come out, and I'll drop everything and read this new book or something. But I will, especially on the holidays, you know, I love me a good rom-com, like a holiday romance. Spooky season, I like picking up some more witchy books and some more thrillers. But yeah, I'm a mood reader, so I will sort of read anything that I feel at the time, which is great because then I get a lot of variety and gives me a little bit of a break between some epic fantasies that I'm reading. Because, you know, if you're reading like a 600-page book, it's a slog. It's hard. You know, you need a palate cleanser in the middle. So, you know, I'll go for something a little bit lighter, something that I don't have to concentrate so much on. That's just more of a vibe and just more of an enjoyable read. So I'll read a little bit of everything. So if you've made it this far into my video, thank you so much for coming on my journey for my first ever YouTube booktube video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like or subscribe if you think that I'll be someone that you could enjoy watching. Like I said, I've got so much content planned. I've got so many videos lined up, then I can't wait to share with you some of my favorite books and recommendations. I read 80 books last year in 2024. I've got some really great books coming up this year, and I can't wait to share it with you. But like I said, thanks so much for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, see you guys. Bye.